Alright, hello everyone, it's Happy, and today we're going to be taking a look at the tier 10 medium/light tanks that are getting an armor change. Maybe it's a nerf, maybe it's a buff in update 10.3. So this is basically a continuation of yesterday's heavy tank video. So if you haven't seen that, you guys should definitely check it out. I'm going to be comparing the armor profile of tanks before and after the update to see how they have changed. And of course, we're going to first be looking at the T-62A. This is of course a medium tank, which is of Soviet origin. And as you can see in the new update, the armor profile is going to increase. Of course, not against TDs or heavies, but when other medium tanks are going to be looking at this tank, especially low pen medium/lights, the T-62A is pretty much going to be similar to that of the E-50M now. And that is really, really scary because I feel like the armor shouldn't be this strong on a T-62. I feel like this is way too strong and it might make the tank far too OP because the size is already tiny, the turret is really, really red, and a lot of mediums will really struggle to play against this tank. Now, if we take a look at the T100LT, this tank is pretty much getting an armor nerf because the armor profile is no longer going to be as sturdy as before. This just makes sense, and Wargaming have already more or less nerfed this tank a few times, so this is not really going to make too much of a difference in my opinion. Next, we have the T22 medium. Of course, as you can see here, this tank is going to be even stronger when it comes to the armor profile. As you can see frontally from another medium's perspective, this is how the T22 is going to look like. This is very interesting. Of course, if it does turn to the side a little bit, it's going to become a little bit more gray, and penning the front shouldn't be a problem. But frontally and sideways, this tank has gotten a really big armor profile boost in general. Now, if we're going to be looking at the Object 907, on the other hand, this tank is being more or less nerfed again when it comes to the armor. It never really had any armor in the turret or the hull, but now the little bit of turret armor it had, it is also being removed from the tank, which is quite sad to see because now this tank is more of a light tank rather than a medium tank. Next in line, we have the Object 907, of course. And in this regard, again, the armor profile isn't changing too much. It is getting a slight nerf when it comes to the turret, which is not that great. But then again, you have the T22 medium now, and you have the T62 to choose from if you're really trying to look for some armored tanks. Next up, if we take a look at the Vickers Light, again, Wargaming is trying to cut this tank's armor. The mask of the tank itself, which is located, of course, on the turret, is again receiving a little nerf, so it's going to be blocking a lot less shells with it, especially heavy and TD rounds will probably go straight through the mask as well. And this is a big contrast to how the Vickers originally came into the game, which made this tank quite unique because of the good gun depression, and of course the pretty solid turret allowed this tank to do wonders. But now, of course, Wargaming decided to pretty much kill this tank off as much as possible. Next, we have the AMX-30B. In this regard, I don't think a lot has changed. The tank is quite similar to how it was. The turret is still okay, and the hull is quite weakly armored, so there's not too much to talk about in that regard, right? Again, at least in my opinion. Then we have the Progetto. This is a quite unique tank now because the TVP got nerfed, sort of, and this tank will probably shine again by a little bit. The hull is the same. The only thing that changed, in my opinion, is the mask of the turret. It got weaker, but who really cares? It's not like the Progetto really blocked any shots with that part of the tank anyhow. So I feel like this update should make the Progetto shine in a much more positive way than before. And lastly, we have the TVP. Again, the armor on the mask of the gun sort of decreased, sort of again, in some places. Again, the tank never really had any armor to begin with. It's not like the TVP was blocking mad shells left and right with the mask. That never really happened. Maybe one in 20 games, 30 games, something like that would happen. but it was not too much of a commonplace. Therefore, I don't think this is really going to affect the TVP at all. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. We still have to look at TDs, which is going to be quite fun as well. Thank you to the Evil Blackberry for providing these pictures. And with that, Happy is out, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.